Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I originally recorded this talk before Evo Japan, but it didn't have enough substance to it that I would like to bring to the table. So I'm recording it now after Evo Japan has gone. And we're going to be talking about the Grand Blue Fantasy versus World Tour. So for those of you who don't know what that is, Cygames has chosen to split off from the Arc World Tour. We're no longer a part of the Arc World Tour. The Arc World Tour is now only going to be, as far as we know, Guilty Gear and Tokon. But Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising is getting its own tour, completely run by Cygames, no Arxis involved. And so there's always, whenever a company decides to do a tour for the first time, there's always some quirks. There's always some quirks, and there's always some things that you have to look out for, because inevitably some things are going to slip through the cracks. Now, I will give them the smallest benefit of the doubt, just because based on what we're seeing so far, it seems like they're just trying to copy paste Arc World Tour. Like, it doesn't seem like they're going to deviate too far from it, which obviously I have some things to say about Arc World Tour, but at least they're not doing completely shot in the dark, let's reinvent the wheel and things like that. So I don't think they'll end up too far off when all is said and done. I'm sure there'll be some things that I have some, things to say about the way they turn out, but I always have something to say, right? That's kind of why you're here. Okay, so they dropped this right before Evo Japan, which does bring me to a criticism, is that we didn't get the information, this bare bones information on the World Tour until like literally a day before Evo Japan. They decided to drop this post that was talking about how Evo Japan and Combo Breaker 2026 are going to be the highest tier events. So they have decided to do a tier system similar to Arc World Tour. So Arc World Tour had Platinum Plus events, they had Platinums, they had Golds, Gold Pluses, Silvers, right? Cygames is deciding to do a star system. So the highest events you could see designated by the image, 5 stars, right? 5 stars is the highest tier event. These are essentially your Platinums. If you win a 5-star event, you get qualified directly to World Finals, right? So those are your Platinum equivalents. And at the time, we only knew about these two, Evo Japan, Combo Breaker. We confirmed that there are indeed points. They gave us some point totals for what you'll be getting should you place not first at their 5-star events. And important thing to make note of is that you only get points for placing top 8, which is hard, right? I just want to point that out. Like, this tour is going to be really hard because having to make top 8 to get any type of points is just difficult, right? It's just difficult no matter how you slice it. So this tour is going to be brutal. Just on that alone. They gave us some info on some 4-star events as well. These are essentially your golds and gold pluses. They even, like, if you go and you click translate on the post, I'm not using Grok translation because fuck Elon. They literally like tell you like, oh, it's, you can compare this to Arc World Tour Gold and Gold Plus. So they're not hiding the fact that they're trying to do essentially the same thing as Arc World Tour was doing, right? There's not really much ambiguity there. They did give us some June events. Obviously, they haven't figured everything out yet. We only have 2 Platinums named. We only have 4 Golds at this point. Hessen Crash, Super Tournament, Mix Up, and Chain Shift. So that is 2 Europe, 1 NA, 1 Korea, at least at the point that they are announcing. Points are awarded for up to 2 tournaments. That's from Plats. And then we get up to 3 for Golds, which is, again, very similar to Arc World Tour. I believe Arc World Tour actually moved. So they used to be, you could get your top 2 placement from Platinums, and then your 3 highest Golds, and then your 1 highest Silver, right? That's how they used to. They actually changed theirs this year to be 2 highest Platinums, and then your highest 4, including Golds and Silvers. So Silvers are going to mean a little bit less on the Arc World Tour this year. How you decide to interpret that, it's up to you, but it's how it is. And they have their 3-star event, equivalent to Silver and Arc World Tour. That's confirmed an online component, which means drama, because there always is whenever people are playing online for actual points on a tour. We're going to have to go through that again. But it is a nice opportunity to give people that are working hard in the community an opportunity to run an event that is a part of the tour and get them that attention and whatnot. I wouldn't know anything about that. My ass did not get a silver last tour, so I don't expect to get one this one. But congratulations to the people that do get chosen. That will not be me. Okay, and then 2-star events, community hosted tournaments. So this confirms that there's like kind of like Tekken World Tour dojo system where people are going to be able to opt in their events. I assume these will be offline only, but they'll be able to opt in their events into the tour, and they'll be worth less points obviously, but you'll still get to be a part of the tour, which is really cool because even there's some great events that aren't a part of the tours. You know, they don't have the relationship, they don't have the tenure, they don't have any of that. It's cool that they get to opt in and like be a part of it. I know people were really disappointed that like SQXL was not a part of the tour last year, and so this at least guarantees that if they don't get chosen to be a gold, they do at least still get to take a shot at being a part of the tour. But do make note that it is 2-star as opposed to the online events, which are 3-stars. So they're going to be in the least. At least that's what I'm led to believe. I don't know if there's a 1-star or not, but as far as this post goes, 2-star is the bottom. We'll just have to wait to figure out on that. And then they give us some very, very bare bones stuff about Side Games Cup. We knew the finals at Side Games Cup the entire time, but they also went out of their way to tell us how many plats there were going to be. And so there's going to be 9 plats, so direct qualifiers, and then 8 people got qualified from being ranked via points. And then there's going to be a regional leaderboard. So top players by region. They already gave us a little bit of what this means. They're splitting the tour into sub-regions for the purpose of like having regional leaderboards. So that should give people that are in a little bit of underprivileged places more of an opportunity to like qualify, because this technically could mean that there's multiple slots. If you assume that the plat in your region is going to go to someone from your region, which isn't always the case, but it does happen. And then also someone from the top of the regional leaderboard is going to qualify, and that's 2 people as opposed to just 1 from last year, right? So places like South America and stuff, that is a positive change. Some will say that it's not enough and this and that, but I do think it's generally a good thing. And then they say others too. I can't see this being anything else but LCQ. I don't know what else this could be but LCQ. So I'm going to assume that it's LCQ until I'm told otherwise. But maybe one of the biggest things is that they say points only affect the determination of qualification slots and do not influence the matchups in the Side Game Cup main tournament, which means once you qualify, you don't need to keep going to events to get points, right? Once you're qualified, you're good. You don't have to worry about like, oh, it's going to affect my seeding and this and that. You're qualified and you're chilling, which reduces the amount of gatekeeping, right? That's like what this rule is meant to do. It's supposed to be clear and concise and not ambiguous at all. Once you qualify, you're done. You don't have to go to events. You can choose to if you want to, but you don't feel like you have to spend a bunch of extra money, take off from work, this and that to go to these tournaments when you're already qualified. So pretty good on that one, actually. Yeah, I'm feeling that change. That's a good one. We did get some more information recently. This just came out this morning. We have been told more platinum. So they're aiming for 1 a month. It looks like they're trying to position at least 1, major platinum event to occupy per month. We knew Evo was going to be a part of it. No one is surprised about this at all. Like, who are you kidding, bro? Right. If your game is on the Evo lineup, it's going to be an auto qual. It's just how it is. That's how it goes. Versus fighting, also not surprising, has been on the tour before. Big one, August CEO. And the reason that this is big is because the issue with tours involving CEO is that Evo and Combo Breaker are bigger, and they're also run by the same people. And so like when devs talk to tournament organizers and tournament organizers talk to devs, right? Those conversations happen kind of at the same time, right? It's like, yeah, Evo's going to be on the tour. Of course, can we talk about Combo Breaker, right? Combo Breaker has been a plat on the tour before already, so it has that tenure, right? So those two are like pretty much always guaranteed to be on the tour. But CEO, because they don't want to overload how many NA events are auto quals, right? Sometimes CEO gets the shaft, right? Sometimes it's only a gold or a gold plus. Like last year for the ARC World Tour, it was not platinum, right? It might have been normal gold, but I think it was gold plus. So this time CEO auto qual, which is huge, really, really big deal. Cool to see because I think even like if we go to the ARC World Tour, right? CEO's gold plus for this year's ARC World Tour for gear. So that's what I mean by like, even though CEO is massive and it is much bigger than a lot of other events on the tour, even most of the plats, it's just that issue where NA runs the biggest events. So like we have like kind of that oversaturation. So cool to see them get a plat. We will be there. We will be there. September, we have Oz Hado Nationals, which is Australian event, which I was surprised that this was not BAM. So maybe it's a case of they didn't want to stack, right? Because BAM is earlier in the year, and so they decided to go with a different Australian event. But it's cool that Australia is like one of those places you have to put a tour stop, IMO. If you're gonna call it a world tour, right? Australia is like often very isolated. And they don't get that many opportunities, so it's cool to see that they get a dedicated slot. I think that's a good thing generally. Obviously they can go to like Japan, they can go to like some of the Asian tournaments, but it's nice to have something in your backyard, right? Like even if you could travel to get there, it's nice to just have something at home, you know? It's like good for them. And then October Europe, they're not fooling anyone, bro. They're not fooling anyone. October Europe, come on guys. Come on, guys. You all know what this is already. I don't even know why they bothered doing it. It's probably because they haven't signed the contracts. This is 100% Evo Europe. Like it's not UFA. It's definitely Evo France. You will not convince me otherwise. I don't think UFA is in October, is it? I think absolutely that is Evo France for the trifecta, which just makes sense, right? That is one good thing about having like the 3 Evo setup actually makes a whole lot of sense for like any tour, right? It's so easy for them to structure around 3 Evos because they're like naturally spaced and everything. This year's a little bit weird because Evo's in June instead of in its normal slot, but when it's in its normal slot, it makes a whole lot of sense. It's the 3 major regions of like almost every fighting game, right? NA, Europe, Asia. It just makes sense. And then November confirmed 2 events. Tiger Uppercut. This is a big come up for them. Tiger Uppercut, they have been grinding for so long. They've been golds on so many people's tours. It is really cool to see them get a 5-star slot. Big ups to them. And then Battle Coliseum returning for our South America rep, which is, you know, I don't think that's surprising either. I think everyone knew that if there was going to be any South America event on the tour, it would be Battle Coliseum. And so, yeah. We got 9 plats. They can keep that as question marks as long as they want. Like I said, they're not fooling anyone. Information on tournaments 4 through 2 will be updated as it becomes available. So they're saying, hey, we still haven't figured this shit out yet. You know, like I said, this tour, they're kind of figuring out as they're going along. So saying we still have some stuff to figure out. So bear with us while we try to put things together. I do think that the skeleton, the skeleton for like the plats, that's what I view them. I view plats as like the cornerstones, and then you fill them in with the meat and potatoes that are the golds and the silvers and the dojos, right? To make a really fleshed out tour, right? I think the skeleton looks good. The events that they've chosen make a whole lot of sense. There's always further you can go, right? Eventually, it would be cool to see tours that have like multiple events per region. Like it's cool that you make sure that they get that one event, but it would be cool if they had multiple plats per region. That way people have, you know, those multiple opportunities. Not everyone can always get off work, or, you know, they don't have the funds. It's very easy to miss that, not be available for that one event that you need to go to, you know? So that's down the line. For now, they're doing a pretty fine job. I can't roast them too hard about that. They did put out an image that gives us a little infographic here, which is even funnier because they, again, like they haven't figured everything out yet. So this is what things are looking like in terms of their breakdown. They haven't figured out how many of the silvers are going to count. They haven't figured out how many of the dojos are going to count. That's going to be really important to the tour. So, you know, I don't know how long they're going to take to decide on how much those are going to count, but this is a big deal, like a really, really big deal, especially depending on the point values themselves. And so that is something that they need to try to figure out ASAP, because just like you need to make time, like traveling to events, like people also still need to make time for these online events too. Like, yes, you're at home, but like people have obligations that stop them from playing an online event sometimes too, right? They have work, school, this or that. I don't know. It just be like that. So hopefully they put those out before too long. Hopefully the dojo, biggest thing about the dojo opt-in thing is that, as we saw with Tekken World Tour last year, not this year, is that it's abusable, right? There are people that will go out of their way to try to abuse the dojo system to get ahead. And so I really hope whoever is on the team that is in control of this takes the time to think about qualifying criteria and whatnot, and does proper vetting to these events, so we don't have people making fake events to inflate people's point totals. That shit is whack. And straight up, If I see it, if I see any instance, I will be very vocal about this. I do not fuck with that. So if you're out there and you're thinking about doing some fuck shit like that, just know I will become your worst enemy, because I will not stand for that. I just will not. So don't be an idiot, play well, and you'll qualify. If you can't qualify without cheating, your ass does not deserve to even go to events, let alone qualify for a World Tour. Straight up. That's how I feel. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. They give us the regional breakdown on the right as well. So North and Central America are looped into one. Then South America is its own, Europe, Asia, Oceania, and Japan, which is a little bit weird, like a tiny bit. Not that they chose, like it's, I don't know why they wouldn't just do, I don't know, maybe the number that they had in their mind just didn't work. Like, why wouldn't they just separate them into their own regions? Like, why isn't North America a different region from South America or from Central America? Looping Central America in is a little rough, I feel like, right? I feel like it's really hard to qualify at Central America. It kind of defeats the purpose to loop them in with a massive region like North America. So yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that. If you're gonna designate Central America, why not make it its own thing? Otherwise, just keep it North and South. You know, I don't know. I'm a little iffy on that. And then Oceania, Asia, obviously they get their own plat, but gonna be really hard to qualify on the regional leaderboard in Asia region. Right, that's gonna be hard. That is gonna be Central America has the worst connections with South America than North America. I'm saying that because this is for the leaderboard though. Like, you don't even have to, like, they can have their own, right? Like, if you make them their own slot, if you make Central America their own slot, right, then that means that they get to host online events strictly for Central America, and someone strictly from Central America will qualify to the tour because they're top of their leaderboard, right? So I don't know why you would, like, I think lumping them in with North America just means that North America is gonna just drown them out, right? Like, it's just gonna, like, the biggest stuff is all gonna be like someone from North America is gonna qualify on the regional leaderboard. It's not gonna be someone from Central America. Right. So like, I feel like that giving them that opportunity, like, it doesn't really create much opportunity for them. I would have liked to see them separate. Similarly, Asia and Oceania, I would have liked to see separate too, but beggars can't be choosers. We all know they're not coming to me for advice when it comes to these tours. So what can you do? But yeah, that's where we're at. Tour has already begun. You know, tournament season is officially here. Evo Japan just passed. Combo breaker coming up very quickly, like Jesus Christ. Whenever we get more information on the tour, I'll be sure to make another video, but that is all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think with a comment below. I will see you next time. Goodbye, friends.